Hey fam, Shay here with another video. Today we're going to be answering the biggest question that I get throughout all of my videos. How to lock knots, okay? So let's just get into the video. All right, so today I brought my friend along, Snowflake. And what I'm going to do is just show you guys how to lock knots. I'm going to try a few different methods that I, of course, use all the time. Alright, so we got Snowflake here in her struggle braids. Listen, whatever I want to try something new, I usually try it on a mannequin head first. So those braids have been abused quite regularly, so please disregard how bad those braids look. Look, I wasn't going to rebraid them, just for this. But anyway, so I'm using Kima Ocean Wave hair because that tends to be the biggest problem when locking knots for a lot of people. So I'm going to use this hair. And of course, the smaller the strand, the better the knot will be, not just visually speaking, but it's easier to lock as well. So this is the brand I'm going to use, and I'm splitting the hair. You always want to split the hair in most situations with any type of hair. And I'm just going to go through and crochet some hair in. I'm going to double knot them like is, the normal way to do it. And then we'll go about to locking these knots. I want to also say that these methods also work with the knotless method and any other stitch really. There's a few that don't need it, like what's it called, like the double 8 stitch or something like that. All those different ones, like some of those really don't need reinforcement, but if it needs it, you can apply these methods. And here I'm just inserting some of the most commonly used knotless braid methods. And we're just going to try them out on those as well. And here I'm just kind of swinging them around so you'll see that, the more you move them and flip them around, the more the knots will slip without some sort of reinforcement, especially on the Kima Ocean Wave hair. So let's just start with my favorite method, which is the hairspray method. I'm going to use a duck clip, what do you call that, duck bill clip, whatever, metal clip. And I'm just going to pull kind of taut on the knots and slide the clip down on it so that the knots are good and tight. And then I'm going to spray my favorite hairspray to use when locking knots on it. It's made by Loreal and it's called Lock It, even though it's not made for knots, but whatever. It works and the name is appropriate. And I'm just going to coat the knots really good on both sides. And leave the clip there until it dries. And what I do is I leave it there and I move on to the next row and continue that process. But since we're showing you different methods, we're not going to do any more of them. I'm just going to show you the other ways. Now see how these knots have slipped? That's what I'm talking about. And I think that's the issue everybody's coming into. So this one, we're just going to reinforce it with a knot where I'm just taking a little hair from each side of the strand and just reinforcing it with just a knot, just a regular knot, not a crochet knot, just a knot. And that's all you do for that one. I mean, it's little, it's not much that you have to do. My only thing why I don't use that more is I've tried once, not on me, but on a client, to use this tie method all over her head with some hair she had bought that was really, really soft and really slippery. that was the most work I've ever done in my life. Like, that is so time consuming. Like, we're doing 2 now, but trying to do this all over a head is just unrealistic. The time is just ridiculous. So, like, I do it now. Like, I use it when, like, I have a big knot in the back or something and I just don't want to separate the hair. Then I'll use it, but it's not something that I use commonly. Now, this method I do not suggest, but people do it. So, I'm going to put it on here, but I just can't stress you enough. This is not the best method to use. I mean, all that is nail glue, and you put a little bit on a knot. When I mean a little bit, I mean a little bit. Not, I mean, and just directly on the knot. You have to make sure that that doesn't drip on your hair at all. And like, even here, I use too much. Like, you just need just like a drop of it. But if you get the wrong kind, see, this way too much. It just got out of hand. See, but if you use too much, and if you use the wrong kind, like, it's gonna flake. It's gonna, I don't know. And then if it gets on your hair, man, like, like, I don't like this method. I'm putting it on here because people do it, and it I guess it's an option, but don't use it. Just don't do it. There's so many other ways to do it. Just don't do that one. All right, so here we're going to try the flat iron method or the curling iron method. I haven't tried this one. I just heard about it, so let's just give it a whirl. So now we're just going to work on this row, which is the knotless row. And all I'm going to do is just repeat all of those methods with these knots, and we'll see how that works. And there you have it. I mean, they're not going anywhere. The hairspray method, like I said, is my favorite, but none of these knots are going anywhere. And yeah, that curling iron method, it did work.
Right, so
but I do
I
have
hope
my
that
thoughts
answered
on it.
all of your questions.
So just keep
we
watching.
went over the, knot method. We went over the nail glue method, which I cannot reiterate enough. I do not suggest. It was hell trying to take it out of her head. I mean, you cut the knots, but still, like, if there's like any little ounce of drip onto your hair, like, I wouldn't advise it. But like I said, people do it, so I wanted to put it on here to let you know it is, I guess, an option, but I wouldn't advise it. We went over the hairspray method, which is my favorite, the one that I use all the time. And then we went over the curling iron method or the flat iron method. I almost melted it. But yeah, so it only needs like a few seconds, which is okay, but it did make the knot a little shiny. I did not like that part, because if you're trying to blend it, or tease it, like, to me, it just seems like it would stand out. So that's not something I would advise. And then that might not work for all hair. Kima hair is a little bit more tolerant to heat, but some of the other versions, like her Kima Treasure, that's a bit more silkier, I don't think that will work out too well. So I wouldn't advise that one on all hair brands either. But the one that works across the board for me is the hairspray method. That's my absolute favorite. Y'all see me use that all the time in my videos. So, and as you see, you can use them with the knotless version. Any kind of crochet knot that you use, you can pretty much use. I want to say maybe the double figure 8 stitch, that might not work as well for the knots, but you shouldn't really have slippage with that knot anyway. But I want to see the rest of them. You can pretty much apply those methods to those different knots as well. So if you have any questions, hit me in the comments. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe and check out some more of my other videos if you're not a part of the family. So I'm going to say that you already hit that subscribe button and you already family, so welcome. And join us on Facebook at We Love Hair. This is the Facebook group. We have a good time in there. And if you haven't followed me on my other social media platforms, which is Snapchat and Instagram, please do so under Shay Love Hair. But all that information will be linked below. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your love and support, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace and blessings.